I had a house, a wife and a kid, and used to take vacations a couple times every winter in Florida. Truck, boat. So I had, you know, the American dream, my own business, making tons of money, and that slowly just dwindled away, you know, through my addiction. You know, before I knew it, I was working less, spending less time with my family, and you know, I started to sell things for my drugs because I wasn't working. I had enough. I was waking up every morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, down in a half-gallon of vodka, a couple of beers just to pass out again. I'd wake up 6 o'clock in the morning and have to have some more alcohol all throughout the day. This was a continuous thing every single day. And I didn't see a way out. I just saw no way out. I was hooked on alcohol, I was hooked on the benzos, saw no way out. And one day I had had enough. I had said, I can't do it anymore. And I think at that point I just wanted to die. I went to jail, went to drug and alcohol class there, and I found that I could get released if I found a treatment center to do a 10-day evaluation on me. So I did my homework and looked into all the drug and alcohol places in New Hampshire. And there's one that stood out to me. I chose Keystone Hall. There was one class that I'll never forget and I loved. It was Monday morning. Cynthia Day had a class there, and she's a no-nonsense type of person. And you know, a lot of people, they want you to feel sorry for alcoholics and addicts like that. It's like boo-hoo, wah, 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 you know. Feel sorry for me. I've been through all this. Well, guess what? Cynthia's attitude is, you got yourself into this shit. You know, put on the big boy pants, pull up your bootstraps, and get a grip. You know, because the only one that's going to save you is you and God. The TLC program, there was good times, there was bad times, but I'll tell you, looking back on it, it was great. It was an awesome experience to save my life. It did. Today I have that peace and that balance, today while I was at Keystone, another thing I found that I had is a talent for painting. And when I was focused on that, I found that I was wicked peaceful inside, and everything else was gone. I was just focusing on what I was painting, and it didn't matter what it came out like, it's what it did for me. And that's what I do today for meditation, is I paint. I'm not living at Keystone Hall anymore. I have my own apartment. It's a nice apartment. I got a beautiful view on a hill with the 3rd floor, finished attic. It's like a log cabin treehouse in the sky. And life is good now. I'm sober. I'll be sober 2 years come March 13th. That was the day I got arrested.
I heard about the services at Healthy at Home through the state of New Hampshire. I was classified as unfit to live in my home because I locked myself up due to problems of depression, and I had a weight issue. I was over 660 pounds, and I was a lot of health issues. They come in, they help me put on my braces for my knees, they help me with my medications, they help me with running errands, they do my laundry because I can't get up and down the stairs. They actually get me out of the house, which I never used to be able to do before. And I've always been a shy person, and they've gotten me to actually go out and do some of my own shopping. And if I have a down day, they try to keep me positive, and they help me with anything that I need. They're there for me, and they're there on a 24-hour basis. The office staff is so good. When you talk to them, they're always friendly. They act quickly. If it wasn't for the staff at Healthy at Home, like I said, that you lose your independence, and you don't want that. And they help you keep yourself moving and motivated. If it wasn't for Healthy at Home, I probably would be an institution, and I wouldn't have my independence. I am so happy that I have the freedom that I can go out and I can go to the malls and I can do things now. Before I couldn't do that. And now I'm very happy that I can get out and I feel great.
I'm a disabled vet. I'm honorably discharged. I'm a convicted felon about 14 years ago, recovering drug addict and an alcoholic. And I have full-blown AIDS. When you have a conviction, felony conviction, a lot of the local housing is denied to you. I was able to get an apartment in a really horrific place because all I could afford was probably $300 a month. It was like 9 stories up in a brick building, old Otis elevator, a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking, and it was really hard for me to stay sober in there. The VA pulled for me, the HIV task force, they got me some hopwa, and I'm able to get myself a nice little place now. It's right across the street from the group home. I get to visit with all my friends and buddies there, and they've given me a job. I'm able to afford a little bit more than macaroni and cheese too. They've given me some training with computers, so now I can do some data entry, and I do peer support with the homeless. My diabetes is getting under control. I'm eating better now that I have a nutritionist, which is provided to me. And I have medical care. I can see a doctor, some of them every month. My infectious disease doctor is every 3 months now that my T-cell count has gone from 12 to over 400. I'm very, very grateful for what has happened to my life here. For me personally, at first, it was a real struggle, but I've had so many people who have reached out to me and have offered me a hand up and not a hand out. And God bless the people at Connections and the HIV Task Force and the people over at Buckingham Place.
A couple of years ago, when I started having major mental issues, being diagnosed with bipolar, being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and then on top of that I was diagnosed with a very rare mental disorder called dissociative fugues. After my seventh fugue in 4 years, I was thrown out of my parents' house, and I was living on the streets of Nashua, and I came upon Maple Street as a shelter. From there, that's how I got introduced to Harbor Homes. One thing that in the rules of living at the Maple Street shelter is that you have to better yourself every day. I took that one to heart. I made sure that every day I had something to make my life better, whether it be going to the Department of Health and Human Services, whether it mattered to go to counseling, whether it mattered to talk to somebody at the shelter, a staff member, to make myself that much better. I've never heard the word fail. I've never heard the word that you're a disappointment. I've always heard of what's it called? Inspirational words, like great job. You know, you're getting the idea. You're getting better. Every time I had a success, whether it been a little stepping stone or a huge milestone, it was always a big deal. It was always, or if it was a negative, you know, it was sort of like either positive or negative. It was, how can we make it better, or great job, this is your next thing working on. It was always a constant push. It felt really good to have that support. The first time in my life, I finally found a group of people that actually understood my personality, my mental disorders, and worked on the positive ways of making me better instead of the negatives. I know it seemed like, nothing against my family, but they just weren't educated on what my problems were. They have goals and plans for me that I didn't even think about 9-10 months ago. I didn't even think about going back to school. I didn't even think about, you know, having my own apartment. I didn't think about having a life outside of getting better. As of right now, I've just been accepted to Nashua Community College. So my aspiration is to become a nurse, hopefully in the next 2 to 4 years. If I didn't have the services that they provided, honest to God, I wouldn't be here right now. I've tried 6 times to commit suicide in 4 years. And I think if I didn't have the constant support, a place to live at the time, a person to keep an eye on me, a person to see me through the good, the bad, and the ugly, countless hours from staff, I think that either I'd be living in the woods someplace or I'd be dead. The donors that have donated in the past year has saved my life.